fast will India bounce back from the pandemic and the hit that the pandemic caused on India's economic prospects? Joining us for perspective on this is the chief economist at the International Monetary Fund, one of the world's leading economists, Dr. Gita Gopinath. Dr. Gopinath, welcome. It's great to have you back with us on India Today. The IMF just put out its latest round of projections, and you're predicting once again that India's economic growth will be at 9.5%, which would be the fastest growing world economy for 2021. Can you give our viewers a full sense of what you're thinking of the kind of economic recovery that you're picking up from India? Dr. Gopinath.
Hi, Rahul. Always a pleasure to join you. Our numbers for this year and next are unchanged from July. We have the Indian economy projected to grow at 9.5% this year and 8.5% next year. In terms of the overall prognosis of the recovery, I would say the following. One, India had a very deep recession last year, minus 7.3%. And so this is a rebound that we are seeing. But if you look at the combination of, last year and this year, the recovery, while it's certainly happening, is incomplete, and it is uneven. It's incomplete in the sense that, relative to where the Indian economy would have been in the absence of the pandemic, there is still a distance to go. You can also see that in employment numbers. And it is uneven because while there are some sectors, large firms, listed firms recovering strongly, MSMEs are still under stress. There are large numbers of people who are unemployed. You can see that when you look at access to the rural unemployment insurance schemes. So, the good news is that the recovery is continuing. There is stability. Cases have come down. COVID cases have come down dramatically. But there is still that distance that needs to be covered.
So one of the key things about projections that have been done by the International Monetary Fund is on account of various aspects of the pandemic, the first wave and later the second wave, some of the initial hopes for growth had to take a hit. How are you factoring in a possible third wave? Hopefully there won't be a third wave which is as significant as the second wave, but there is a lot of talk about the possibility and prospects of a third wave. So how, in your view, could a third wave impact the kind of growth numbers that you're putting out, Dr. Gopinath?
So this is one very large source of uncertainty in the forecast, and that's true for India, but for pretty much all of the parts of the world, which is how the pandemic will evolve. And in India, in terms of the third wave, the assumption we have is, that there will be some restrictions that will be around because of the pandemic, but nothing in terms of a broad-based shutdown of the economy, or nothing like what we saw, for instance, in the second wave in India. So that's the baseline assumption. But that is, a source of downside risk to our forecast if in case there was, say, a new virus variant that came up that led to, again, anything like what happened this past summer.